Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is a win in the books for the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game where it was very up and down. Um, Offense really had trouble going. It started out good in the first quarter. Uh, on two different possessions, we got two touchdowns, and afterwards, we were going down the field and it started looking good, and then it kind of started getting conservative, which is something that I can't stand. It it hurt in the end because again it allowed the Patriots to come back in this game. We can't do that versus the Vikings. We cannot do that. The constant thing with this team, especially when it comes to their defense, has been being able to keep the opposing offense out of the end zone. And it honestly felt like when we got going, it was looking good. Everything was clicking, and then we started getting almost like cocky. We can't do that. We have to open up the playbook. We can't do curl route after curl route after curl route, which ended up happening and sucks in that category. But at the end of the day, we get the win. Um, and another thing, Derek Harmon got his bit of action, and he shows exactly why we drafted him. He ended up in, I believe it was a second or third down. Hayward was coming around pressuring Drake May, and Harmon was double teamed. He broke the double team on him and came back around to stop the running back or to get his, I believe, his first sack, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up, actually. Microsoft. Use Microsoft recommended browser settings. Microsoft Edge helps you stay protected while you browse by blocking, phrasing, and set later. Did he have a sack? I think he did. Yep, he had a sack. He had a sack. But yeah, the defense really came through when need be. Um, it's one of those things where when you look at it, it it was up and down in the secondary, but the D line and I'll say this, the linebackers, when given the chance to pressure the quarterback, looked good. Patrick Queen, he had an opportunity to get to the running back, the running back, and he snuck through a hole and wrapped him up perfectly for a loss of, I believe it was two. And then you had the turnovers, which we forced like 5 or 6 turnovers. What? Okay. Um, but anyway, um, this team showed up today. It was real ugly at the end, but again, it's a Steelers game. It's not a Steelers game unless there's a heart attack, right? And I had like probably 7 different heart attacks in this game. Um, T.J. Watt getting in there and sacking the quarterback. I mean, is that really even a surprise anymore? So it's good to see that he got his get back. I believe he had like 1 or 2 sacks in the game. Nick Herbig flying around. He nearly kicked into another Garen guy, Drake May. But another thing I don't like about the defense is um they don't spy the quarterback. We had that problem versus the Jets. We had that problem um in week 2 versus Seattle. It was just it wasn't good. Oh yeah, and DK Metcalf got his um second second touchdown, I believe, for the Steelers. So that's good to see. Man, 268 yards for Drake May, 139 for Aaron Rodgers. They both had an interception thrown. But yeah, hang on real quick. Uh, Jeez. But yeah, again, it was a very sloppy game. It wasn't the best, uh, but I'm glad to see that Derek Harmon ended up getting um his plays in. He actually got way more time than what I thought they were going to give him. In fact, I think he nearly played a whole game. I mean, of course they subbed in and out, but that's just to get his feel back for it. But yeah, he definitely as a he definitely has a bright future. If he can keep this going, if he can keep this going, he has a very bright future with this team. And I say this, and I can't express it enough. Can we please get rid of Pat Meyer next season or next in the off season? After this season's over, get rid of Pat Meyer. He does nothing. He's killing the freaking development of this O line. Whether you want to blame it on Broderick or anybody else for the pressures, I don't care. But I look at the situation at hand when it comes to this team, and coaching is a problem. But they'll never change it. If they get above 500, they'll say, yeah, just enough. But no, just enough shouldn't be enough. It's pathetic, is what it is. It's settling for shit that you don't need to be settling for. If they really honestly expect to win a Super Bowl this season with this coaching staff, I hate to tell you, but that's still not going to happen. Instead, next week they get to face the man that they could have hired as the defensive coordinator, and Brian Flores, with his defensive coordinating job right there, or with the Minnesota Vikings. I still don't understand why they did that crap. Why they didn't hire him? Why would you not hire him as the defensive coordinator? What is the big appeal to Terrell Austin? I just don't understand how they think the way they do and think that this team is going to be good. We had a good game, yeah. The defense stepped up, but I don't know. I'm just very up and down with the offense. So yeah, um, another stressful game. It's nothing new. It's nothing that we're not used to. And yeah, um, one of these things where you've got to take what we were given. Yeah, the freaking the Vikings put up 48 points versus the Bengals. So you better be ready for a fight. This team better be ready for a fight going into Dublin. Because if you go in to Ireland and not take this team seriously, they're going to kill us. And then you want to know whose job will be called for? Mike Tomlin's. Granted, it's well deserved criticism that he gets thrown in because again, it's becoming a point now with him where fans are now getting to the point where they're saying we don't want just enough. We don't want good enough. We want great. We want to play great. But you can't do that if you're not willing to get the proper coaching for these certain positions. It just doesn't work. We haven't had a good O line coach since Mike Munchak. In fact, do whatever it takes to get that man back in Pittsburgh next season. for next year because we need it. The O line needs it, and I would bet every freaking dollar in my pocket that he could develop this line into what we want it to be, what we're imagining it to be, where that imagination, where we're imaging it, how great they can be, into reality, because that's how good Mike Munchak is. But I guess Mike Tomlin and them don't see it that way. But again, it's what's going to happen is what's going to happen. I'm still a full on believer in Broderick Jones. Um, I need to see what he can do with a great O line coach, like a Mike Munchak or anybody like that. Mike Munchak, anybody who is great at that O line coaching job. I need to see the development. I can't give up on these players just because they have a bad game or shit like that and then just all around throw up, hey, you fucking suck. That's not how I do things. That's not how I roll. I gotta see you with the proper coaching staff before I give a good evaluation because newsflash for anybody who is against Broderick, you put anybody in the NFL even great at their position, they're not doing good with Pat Myers' development. They're going to play just like Broderick. For instance, that Eagles offensive line, you put Pat Meyer as their O line coach, they don't look anything like they do. I'm just saying, it may hurt to hear, but it's the honest truth. That is the honest to God's truth about this whole thing. And I hate being this guy, but if it means you got to give the hard truth on something, you might as well be straightforward with it. I'm tired of people always sitting there thinking that they know every little fucking thing in the book about what's going on with him. We get he has bad games. But guess what? What does that stem from? The players should take accountability, yes, and they will because of the poor play, but that stems from the O line coach. Just like any wide receiver's development, that goes on the wide receiver coach. Any team, any way the team comes, if you have a coach like Mike Tomlin who is a control freak when it comes to the defensive playbook, you will see exactly what you've seen today, which was a full out blitz in the red zone, ended up being a wide open touchdown. I love how aggressive they're being, but I need them to be able to have somebody on the tight ends. You don't have to blitz everybody. Okay? Send in a blitz on the safety if you have to. A blitz on the safety in a corner, one corner. But make sure there's somebody in the area to prevent a touchdown. I shouldn't have to say any of this. None of us should have to say any of that. But that's also is the blessing and a curse of the all out blitz. And that's sort of what we did. Well, I'm glad that they are back to blitzing, being Blitzburg. I, for one, want to see it done correctly, not this full out blitz where you're leaving everybody open. Okay? That's the only reason they went away from blitzing in the first place. because they couldn't stop the touchdowns from happening. You need to adapt. You can do a blitz. That's why you have two linebackers and a D line. And if you want to throw in a corner blitz, go ahead. But if there's really no need, and while they did get the pressure, it also left a wide open Hunter Henry. You got to be better, man. You've got to be better. We've got to do better in those areas. And another thing, stop putting stop putting linebackers on receivers and tight ends. That drives me nuts. But yeah, anyway, I rambled on enough. Uh, Again, if you like this video or if you enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Um, I won't be doing the Vikings game as I said in my live stream, because that's on NFL Network and I only have like Windows satellites for like just the local. So yeah, uh, this will be it for this video. Don't know why I took my glasses off. Here we go, Steelers, in peace.